evening, everyone. All right, let's see where we're at. Welcome. All right, we're going to share this. Okay, I can see comments. Good, good, good. We're all plugged in, with the exception of my phone. We'll get that plugged in. Wait for some people to hop on. I might be a couple minutes early. I had to run and take care of my grandpuppy for a half a second and all that fun stuff. Then I was watching a little bunny rabbit out in my yard. I was like super chilly earlier, and now I'm like, whoo, from running around. So welcome everyone to my Let's Caffeinate and Create Creativity Made Easy on Thursday nights at 7:30. I almost hopped on here a little bit earlier, but then I got a call and that was that. So I needed to do some other things. I dodged the gym today, but that's okay. I'm going to try and get up early and go in the morning. So we'll see how that goes. All right. So we are going to work with the Beautiful Blues kit. And that's from the kit collection. It's actually there's a picture of it in the new annual catalog. Welcome everyone who's watching. Thank you for catching me live. And if you are watching the replay, either on YouTube or here on Facebook, thank you so much. When I am through here, I will be uploading it to YouTube for people to watch it over there as well. Welcome. I am so happy that you are all here. I'm pivot from showing. I was going to work with that kit, or not the kit, the album, the mini album that I have. But for some reason, I kept thinking that I already shared it with you guys, but I will go back and look, but I still have to finish it. So that's going to be a project, but it's not going to be one of my normal lives. I'm just going to hop on, do a pre-recording of it and finish assembling it and then post it. I got this kit a couple weeks, actually last week, I think. So I really wanted to take time and use this kit. I do have some announcements. So if you have a few moments, it's about upcoming classes, as well as great things that are going on here in the Stampin' Up! World. And just me trying to get back in the groove of doing things that are kind of smooth for me and kind of slow and steady. Wins a race, right? Exactly. So here we are. Today is May 29th, Thursday, May 29th, 2025. There's an amazing starter kit deal. It is $165 worth of product for $99 plus tax. You end up getting also a past paper pumpkin kit in your starter kit, as well as business supplies, which you can choose to use or not. It's entirely up to you. They do give you some catalogs in your starter kit that you can pass along to friends and family if you would like to do so. I would love to have you on my team. My team is Central Perks, and there's so many benefits to being a part of the demonstrator community. Of course, it's always beneficial to be a customer as well as a viewer, or whatever the case is. We love to share everything that we do, no matter what your interest is or level of crafting or whatever the case is. I would just really be excited if you would want to purchase that starter kit and save a ton of money on a ton of product. So there is only today, tomorrow, and Saturday. So the 31st is the end. The end of the day on the 31st is the end of the starter kit deal for the month of May. Starter kit is always a deal, but during this deal, you're getting $40 additional in product. So you could get a suite. You could get the big stamp cut and emboss machine. You could get the little stamp cut and emboss machine. You could get bundles. You can get papers. You can get the in color products, whatever you want. You can build your own starter kit up to $165. You can't go over that because unfortunately with your starter kit, you cannot pay the difference if you go over. But it's $165 of product for $99. Month of May, almost over. I say you go ahead and take advantage of the deal. If you already have a demonstrator that you buy from, consider purchasing the starter kit from them. It doesn't matter. Just take advantage of the deal so that you can get extra product, more bang for your buck in a sense. even though I would love to have you on my team and you could get the perks of being on my team and part of Celine Kempton's team as her level 2 downline. Also, there is the new annual virtual scrapbook event. Annual as in you're creating an entire year's worth of scrapbook pages. So it's 24 pages, 12 months, 2 for each month. So a 2-page spread per month, which is super cool. It's $250. If you are a demonstrator, say you purchase that starter kit and you want to then place an order and get the new virtual scrapbook event kit, you would get a discount of 20% because you would be new. Some demonstrators who have been demonstrators and have exceeded a certain title would get a 25% discount. But just think about that, as well as earning Stampin' Rewards with purchases after becoming a demonstrator. You also can earn those Stampin' Rewards being a customer. So if you want that annual virtual scrapbook event kit, it is $250. There is a link, I believe, in the pinned post above in the description of my video. In YouTube, when I post this to YouTube as a replay, it will be below my video in the description of the content on YouTube. So 12 two-page spread, one spread per month. And the virtual event, you will receive an email once you purchase this. In July, you will receive an email. And the event is July 16th to the 18th. You do not have to be intimidated to feel like you have to show up for the event because of the time of day. If I'm able to purchase the kit, I am hoping, then I would be able to watch the event when it's convenient for me, because it starts for New York time, East Coast time. It is 4 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. Mountain time, it's 2 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. So we are a 2-hour difference from the Utah office. So with that being said, it's July 16th, 17th, 18th, 3 days of scrapbooking. They send you everything you need to create these kits. The only thing you do not get is the album, and there are additional supplies. So if you purchase the kit from me, I will send you that information of the additional supplies that you would need to round up. If you already have it in stock, great. And if you don't, then you know what you'll need, or you can improvise with stuff that you have on hand. So no pressure to purchase additional items. That is enough about that. If you have questions about the starter kit and or the virtual scrapbook event, please let me know. Hey, Mary, welcome. I know, right? I'm always either on YouTube on Sunday mornings, and it seems that I'm finally getting into a routine of being here on Facebook on Thursdays. So I'm really excited to be here, and I'm so glad that you're here as well. Thank you for commenting and being here. Appreciate it. And those of you, even if you're here and not commenting, I appreciate you too. Hey, Maggie, welcome. All right. Another great thing that is up and coming in the Stampin' Up! World is June 3rd to the 30th. Amazing deals going on. It is anything or an entire suite. It's buy one, get one half price. So say you want the celebratory sips suite, and everything is available in that suite during June or whatever, because sometimes things are missing and you can't just plug in that one number. And I'm just going to throw this out there because I don't know the pricing off the top of my head. But say you want that suite, but yet you want a bundle from another suite, you could purchase the larger amount suite and get the bundle from the other suite half price. It's really super cool. So it's kind of mix and match in a sense from suite collections. If you don't want the whole suite, you don't have to get it. But if you want a bundle from one suite, you would pay, and a bundle from another suite, then you would be able to get one at half price. Hey, Leslie, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Look forward to seeing you in a few weeks. I cannot wait to get to Maine and relax and hang out with people. So that is pretty awesome. That starts on June 3rd through the 30th, and more details to follow. If you have questions about that, please reach out to me as well. I have some upcoming events. My class for this weekend that I had to postpone due to illness, that is taking place on Saturday. Registration is closed for that, and that is using that heirloom, I always say heirloom kit from the kit collection. I have a handful of people that are coming and a handful of people that purchase the kit just on their own to just have, and they got a little bonus gift from me. So the next class that I'm having at the Branchport Library, which is in person, I'm also offering it as a kit to go, whether porch pickup or being shipped directly to you. I'll explain everything to you and I'll show you the cards that we're going to be making. At the library, the in-person event, you can register at the Branchport Library and pay them in advance. The deadline to register is June 4th. That gives me enough time to get the products I need, cut all the kits, and get everything packaged up and ready to go, create the gift that I need for gifting to the people attending or those purchasing the kit to go, whatever the case is. It gives me plenty of time. So the June 4th is a cutoff for my June 14th class, either in person or to go. So June 14th Stamp a Stack is $25. If I am shipping it to you as a to go, it is $35. That will cover the cost of shipping. We are making 6 cards. Some of the ribbon here is retired, so but I have a lot of it and I need to use some of my resources. So there's always ribbon in your stash that you can utilize if you want to remake this type of card. But I am going to show you a quick glimpse of the cards we are going to be making. There are 6 of them. I actually shared it in a previous video, but I didn't finish all of the cards. So we've got these cards here. We've got all these bookbinding cards with different sentiments, and here are a few more. There's a few more of those cards. So we're doing 6 of those different sentiments, and we are focusing on the Blooming Phrases stamp set in the, I don't know, I think this is an online exclusive. I need to mark my my products, but this set for the June 14th, if you want to purchase this on your own through your online, if you're a demonstrator, you can do that as well. Item number 165523, or you can contact me and I can add it on to your purchase. I did not put that in my registration form because we will be using my stamp set at the event in person. But if you do purchase the kit and want that stamp set from me, I will we'll work it out so that I can get that ordered for you as well. So that is my June 14th class. Deadline, June 4th. Another in-person event is going to be July 12th. Just mark your calendars. That is going to be either to go or in person, July 12th. That again will be at the Branchport Library. All my classes in person at the Branchport Library start at 9 a.m. Just gives me time. We all get there. I'll have to do a little setting up, but that's okay. Everyone can visit while I'm doing that. It's really simple setup. And the one in August is August 16th. So mark your calendars as a save the date, July 12th, August 16th, and to register for June 14th, you need to register using the form that I created and put in a post here on my Facebook page, which I also will share on YouTube below in the description. That is for the, it is called the June 14th Stamp a Stack class at the Branchport Library. So we're going to set these aside for now. Actually, I'm going to, yeah, I'll set those aside. All right, we're going to get you pointed down. That's all the announcements I have for all the amazing things going on with Stampin' Up! And with my upcoming classes. I am trying to narrow down my date for my wonderful Back to It card buffet, and it's going to be a smaller group, but I have to narrow down a date for the Pulteney Firehouse. I'm looking either at the end of September or the very first weekend in November. However, November is going to be pushing it for me because I have a very busy November. So I'm looking closer to the end of September, but I'm still toying with the idea of how much can I get done when I can pre-order holiday stuff, and it's going to also include other stuff from the annual catalog. So I don't want it all to be Christmas themed because there's so much love in every catalog that Stampin' Up! Puts out, as well as online exclusives. So it's going to definitely be an amazing event, and it's going to have a different spin on it as well. I've got some things up my sleeve to make it an even more exciting and interactive event than just grabbing bins and creating cards. So all those announcements will be coming soon once I narrow down a date and get the firehouse reserved. So, and that will take place at the Pulteney Firehouse. So, all right, let's get you flipped around. You're going to see outside for a minute, all my hayfield out there. My son actually came here with the brush hog the other day, Monday, the one day, well, it was nice today, Memorial Day. He came after being in the parade and everything else that he had going on that day. He came over and brush hogged my yard to the best of the ability that he could with the time that he had, and I greatly appreciate him stepping up and doing those things. I'm just gonna put this stuff back in my bag for my class on Saturday so I don't forget it. All right, so here we are. We are working with a kit. I can just give you kind of a sneak peek, and I think I really did show you this, but this is what I was gonna work on, and there's bits and pieces that I need to put in here that I cut out, and it's just waiting to be assembled. So again, that is going, because I did advertise that I was going to do that today, and my apologies if you were looking forward to it. I still will get it to you, so no worries there, okay? Just tuck that away behind me so I don't misplace it. And here we go. Again, this beautiful blues kit is in the catalog. And my catalog is, oh, I see a little sticky note, so it's right here. I will show you when you are peeking through the very first few pages, you will see that they talk about kits and the kits collection and all that fun stuff. Well, this is, hey, Judy, how are you? Thank you for being here. This is the Beautiful Blues kit. I always highlight the things that I have purchased. Not that I wouldn't maybe want to purchase it again, but that way I don't replicate things, because we tend to do that. As customers, as demonstrators, as avid crafters, and then we find what we thought we didn't have that we purchased a second time when we're cleaning our space. When that happens, I have no idea, but so this is what we're going to work with today. I still need to do some alternates for Paper Pumpkin, and I'll get them, don't you worry. All right, this is a stamping set, and you can always tell which ones are a stamping set because they come in a cellophane wrapped box, so that nothing is going to fall out of the box, such as the ink spot and the stamps. So I have this down because the sun is coming through the window and there's a little bit of a glare. So let's get our Night of Navy larger ink pad, and I'll save my ink spot. I'm going to start packaging those up to take with me when I travel. Instead of taking all my big ink pads, I'll take my refills and my little ink spots, and it will be a happy day for me. So I won't have to carry every single ink pad with me. Plus, I don't like leaving that stuff in the car, especially if it's warm. So I just accidentally used my ribbon scissors. Good thing we're gonna get those all serviced at the retreat in Maine. Oh, all right. So here we go. Your kits that are stamping kits come with, look at how beautiful that is. I love all the blues. I saw Rachel Tessman do a couple of alternatives with this kit already. It comes with a block, your standard kind of Paper Pumpkin kit block, which is this. I have several of those. Kind of keep building up my stash. They're size D. They just are not the ergonomic ones that have the place where you can, this is filthy, that you can put your fingers down and all that good stuff. So, all right. So we've got that. We have a little bit of some regular size dimensionals, some beautiful, those look like Azure Afternoon sequence. They're raised and they have kind of a pattern on them. Let's pull them out of there so you can take a gander at those. You can see they kind of have a textured impression on there a little bit. So there's that. We have our dimensionals. Oh, I already got one stuck on me. And a little bit of tear and tape. Ooh, I love that it's the thinner tear and tape. We have our stamps, which I'm sure we're going to come across what these stamps look like. Yes, they are in, this is the English version because, yes, I am a demonstrator here in the United States. But kits from the kit collection are sold in all markets, so they do come in different languages. So I can show you that is what these other ones are. So, all right, so we have Sending Love, Wishing You Comfort, You're in My Thoughts, and this beautiful leaf element right there. So, cute little stamp set. I always tell myself I should save these bags, but I never know what to save them for. So we don't save them. Maybe a junk journal. Bet that would come in handy. So these are our envelopes, and you have a decorative edge. They are all the same. I think this kit makes 9 cards, 3 of 3 different designs, as you can see here. All the same envelope, 3 different designs, 3 of each. And we've got, I love kits, if you haven't noticed that about me. I just need to become a pro in making my kit go further and cutting everything apart and sharing that in videos. Seems like that gets away from me. So we have 3 of this card base. We've got, look at that. Are those foil? No, they're just navy, and my eyes play tricks on me at night, but they're outlined tags. So those are awesome. We'll have to keep that aside. I'm sure we're going to need it. The next card base, beautiful. You know, we're going to want to cut those in half, right? So that we can keep prettiness on one side for another card base. We're going to keep one of those aside. We're going to do this kit as instructs. Absolutely love this shade of blue. I know, right? So there's Azure Afternoon. I'll go through the colors, but I think it's Azure Afternoon, Misty Moonlight, and Night of Navy. I could be mistaken, but it almost looks like that new cloud cover is in there as well. So we'll take a look at those elements or the instructions, and I'll keep one of these out, and we will talk about what colors coordinate, because you can always pull in different stamps or inks as well. All right, so we have these elements, beautiful. So we're going to keep a set of die cuts out. It's just so pretty, so pretty. If you add some pink in there or rose gold, it would remind me of the moment I met Celine with that, and I can't talk about it enough, that everything is rosy. Matter of fact, I have some of the ribbon that would be great to pull in for alternates. There's this element for the front of a card. So those are everything we need to create the 3 cards. And let's go through. Again, the back of this will show you everything in your kit. To make 9 cards. Coordinating color, basic white. Oh, it's Blueberry Bushel and Night of Navy. Huh. I thought for sure it was Azure Afternoon. Now, I guess you could mix that in, but yeah, it's Blueberry Bushel. Huh. I was a little off, wasn't I? But that's okay. Blueberry Bushel, Night of Navy, and basic white. That's amazing. Love the colors. Love, love, love. Beautiful. Okay. This QR code, if you were to scan it, it's to learn the basics in stamping. And this one here is to watch detailed instruction on how to put this kit together. So there's also many ideas people put together in alternates with using kits. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Of course, on the inside, we have a ruler from 0 to 9 in imperial measurements, and from 0 to 23 in metric centimeters in metric measurements. And that, again, is because they sell kits from the kit collection in every market, which I think is great, because other markets outside the US and Canada are not able to get Paper Pumpkin. So this kind of relieves them a little bit and makes them feel not so left out of getting kits, even though Paper Pumpkin is a huge thing, and I know I love it. I skip sometimes. I skipped twice with getting Paper Pumpkin way back when, before I started subscribing, before I knew it was a thing. And it was 2 kits that were absolutely beautiful, and I was very sad that I missed out on them. So there's that. I like to pull in my Versamark to season my stamps. That's my new love for seasoning my stamps. And that basically is putting a coating on my stamp so that when I go to put it in the ink, it picks up the ink better. Because when you get your photopolymer stamps in a kit or in a stamp set, there is a film on the photopolymer stamp that happens during manufacturing, and it's like a little residue. You can wipe it on your jeans, you can clean it with your Stampin' Mist and your Stampin' Scrub or your chamois, just to get that residue off. And then, or you can stamp it a few times and stamp off on your grid paper or a scrap piece of paper till you get an image that is satisfactory to your liking. If it still doesn't work, then maybe you need to re-ink your ink pad if you're using a different ink pad that doesn't come with your kit, like the Ink Spot. So that's just a little bit of trivia or detail for you. I'm going to just go ahead and put all of these stamps on blocks now so that I have them all ready. I did clean some of my blocks when I was sitting here the other day with Clorox wipes. Got them nice and shiny and clean. Some of them, not all of them. So with the photopolymer, I like to, nice tip from Rachel Tessman, if they're words and they're, because you know photopolymer easily bendable, I like to let them sit and rest for a minute, and then I'll come in with my block and then I will add it to my block. That's not one that I cleaned recently. You can obviously tell that. And let's see, we have another one. I have my tiny little block here. This is a C block or G block. I don't even know if we sell those anymore, but we're going to toss that on there. And here we go. What do we need for this first? I'm going to just put all these other elements away that I don't need. What I need is a sip of water. Okay, so this is a card we're working on first. So we're going to grab the elements that we need. We've got our stamps, and it looks like we're going to need both the blue and the white little elements here. Be very gentle when you get kits, taking your pre-cut dies, your die cut images out of the paper. They are delicate, very detailed a lot of the times, and rip easily. I mean, I'll just show you up close. Look how fine that line is right there. And I'm sorry that my nails look so bad. I am already eager to call my nail tech, as I knew would happen, and get scheduled again. But I'm going to try and hold off as long as I possibly can. I need to get three retreats paid for that I'm attending, and one is a cruise. So I really need to get some stuff taken care of before playing with my fingernails again, as well as paying off some bills. But y'all don't want to hear all that stuff. Yeah, whatever. So, okay, so we have, we need a tag. So I'm a little, maybe we don't need both of these. Let me just check real quick. No, we don't need the white one. The white one's for a different card. We need the blue one, the navy blue one, and then we need the larger tag right here. Another good thing to have when you're working with photopolymer stamps is your piercing mat, which is this guy right here. And you can just search Stampin' Pierce mat in the online store. I can get you an item number. I should actually put it on here on a sticker. It's nice to have with photopolymer stamps because it gives you the added cushion that is normally in the red rubber clear mount stamps. So you have that to work with. So the stamp I need is your In My Thoughts. So this is that stamp. Here's that. Let's get our Versamark. We're going to go ahead and tap that in there. And looks like we are going to do some additional stamping of leaves on the inside of the card. Yes, that's cute. All right, so now if I don't trust myself, I would stamp this right onto my paper. But because I used Versamark, I trust that it's going to give me, is that the right tag? Because it doesn't look big enough. I trust that it's going to give me, because that's not the right stamp. All right, next. I trust it's going to give me a good image because I stuck it in Versamark first. We're just going to let that ink soak in. Yes, right? We're all going through similar things, wants versus needs. A lot of time my wants trump my needs, though, unfortunately. Let me tell you about eating rice for a week. No joke. That was well, I can't say that was want. That was my need to pay my heat bill for the winter that I didn't budget for. It happens. You just work it out. And when it's just me, it's okay. I can eat rice, right? Hey, rice is really good in the morning with milk and sugar. Cold rice that's been cooked, that you food prep. Oh, cinnamon and sugar and milk. It's very good if you've never had it. Okay, just a side note. All right, so this tag on the back side here is going to get a little piece of, I'm just gonna put this back on here so I don't get all my stuff on it. A little piece of tear and tape. I can find the beginning. Just a little piece right there. And oh, I closed my ring by I closed my exercise ring. I needed to get a minute of exercise, so it must be all my shaking of my hands while I was doing this video did it. So there's that. I need dimensionals on this. So we need 3 dimensionals, and I'm kind of peeking at my instructions here. It shows right here the diagram of what I need. So I'll grab 3 dimensionals and put those in a row. I'm being very brave having my ink open. And this will go on this piece, covering that spot right there. It's not perfect, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna, as Celine says, nobody knows if you've painted behind the toilet because nobody looks. I reference her a lot. If you do not know Celine and you have not experienced watching her, I highly recommend. She does a lot of on-the-fly stuff and she's very talented. Okay, so with that, I'm going to peel this off. But first, before I put this on here, let's go ahead and Versamark up our leaves and stamp that image on the inside of our card. So we're bringing this design into the inside of our card, and it's going to go right here. So we're going to ink this up. This I might take a chance, and actually it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. That out of the way. And looks like I might have a dog hair on it. Nope. All right, so this will go like so. Like I said, I love using Versamark. It really does hold on to that ink. I think I see a little spot that I didn't get ink on, and yes, there is a dog hair on here because you can see the little zhuzh there, but I can get that off with my little eraser. But I will fuss with that later, but that's what those are for. And then this, you'll come in and this gets laid right here. Super simple. You're going to grab these three of these dots, and I see 1, 2, and 3 right next to each other. So we'll go ahead, get my take your pick tool. These are all the same size, and if I'm placing them in the same spot, that goes there. That's even if I got my tag in the right spot, there, and one right next to it, there. And that is card number 1. Super easy. Nice, and ties into the inside. You're in my thoughts is a little crooked. Easy to fix, right? I don't think that adhesive is sticking very good. Oh, now it is. I just had to press it down. Okay, so there you go. Card number 1. Card number 2 is that really pretty blue one with all the prettiness. I won't cut this one apart, but you guarantee I will the next one when I use this card base in the future. And maybe I will make some alternates while I'm here with you. Because why not, right? Okay. Let's go ahead, instead of talking about it, right? Just do it. Just do it. All right, so we need that other piece of white die cut image. I don't know which way was the right way. this way. That's the right way. And a big tag. This must be the wishes of comfort saying. All right, we've got our adhesives, all that stuff. Come back in with our mat. We'll grab that one we inked up. And wishing you comfort. There's that. Really pretty. I love the font. To me, it's kind of sad that, you know, cursive isn't taught in school anymore, but yet we're using it in these cards and hoping people can read it, right? I mean, I love the different fonts. Although I should say a lot of things on like there's so many different fonts out there that people are able to read it. So they just don't write it. They can read it, but maybe they can read it, but not write it. Does that make sense? Squirrel. Sidebar. Okay, that's irrelevant to what I'm doing right now. It just kind of added to conversation. This gets a smidge of our tear and tape, which I'm struggling. I keep missing where the beginning is. I'm just going to rip a piece. It's probably going to be too big. Yeah, it is, but I'll tuck that under there. And I think I just put that on the wrong side. All right, my stomach just made a noise. All right, so we have that, and this is going to go like so over these flowers. No, I need a bigger picture. Zoom in. Maybe I should wear my readers out here. That might be smarter. All right, this goes here. I'm going to put that down first so I can rub that on there. Dimensionals. There's no stamping on the inside. And, yep, 4 dimensionals. Actually, interesting. I think I was actually supposed to pop all of this up, but that's okay. Messed it up now that I'm looking at it, because if you see here, you're adding this to the back of this and then adding your dimensionals. Pooey, but that's okay. I'll know better next time. That way you're getting those raised off of your card base. There's that. 3 more gems. These gems are so pretty. So we're going to put one, whoops, there, and one next to it, and another one over here. Oops. Card number 2. Super simple. The paper does, the decorative paper does the job for you. These are quick and easy cards. The kit, I believe, is $23 plus tax and shipping. One of those things you can toss in the starter kit. You can load up on kits for your starter kit. That was funny. All right, so now we're going to use one of these tiny little itty bitty squares or rectangles. I know what I'm talking about. This big floral image, gentle. And I'm going to pay attention to the instructions. This and this, because we also have this floral piece and this card base. Okay. So grab our bone folder. You wouldn't believe that I have 3 of these and I can only see 1 in my vision. And all right, what are we doing with all of these things? Well, first let's stamp sending love. So we'll season this in our Versamark. And tap that in. I'm trying not to hover, but sometimes I have to stick my head in there and see where I'm stamping.
Hi, Susan. I forgot to remind you I was over here. Sorry about that. So we're going to do some alternates too, because these cards are super easy. This is the Beautiful Blues kit from the kit collection, the new one that just came out in May. All right. And this is going to get tear and tape. And that is why you have the thinner strips of tear and tape. As you can see, you're going to do tear and tape around on the sentiment piece and on this floral image piece, and then dimensionals on the other. So let's go ahead and do some adding of tear and tape here. Just don't be too generous because you need it for all of these pieces. And this is a thin tear and tape. So I'm going to try and do as they did in the image. Oops, without ripping anything. I wish they would sell this size. Maybe I need to put that in the, I would love various sizes of tear and tape, especially with doing junk journaling and mini albums. I like to use, I use a lot of tear and tape with doing those things. And it uses a whole roll sometimes on one album because of the width, or the width of it. So I would love wider tear and tape. Okay, suggestion box, here we come. All right, so we have our card base. This is the one that is Blueberry Bushel, and got specks of what, kind of like almost like a whitewash. Not sure what that technique is. Blended of the color. We are going to peel off our backings. It's hard for me to craft at night. I'm so much better in the morning. Like, I can get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and sit in my craft room for hours. Actually, there was a lot of times that I would get up when Brett was still around, and if I couldn't sleep at night, especially before he was diagnosed with his sleep apnea, and he would snore like crazy. And I couldn't sleep through that. Plus, it was before also I was put on my anti-anxiety meds. So my head was always full of information it didn't need to be full of at that moment. All right, so we got all of that stuff down. I'm going to, okay, so there is a smidge of a border. So like 1/8 of an inch border. That's super pretty. So you have that. Look at that. You could probably add a little bit of adhesive behind the flowers, but I think this is going to keep that tacked down somewhat. All right, so anyway, yes. So I would wake up at 2:30 in the morning, and I'd come out to my craft room. I'd shut the door. And the craft room was right off the bedroom. And I would shut the door and be like, okay, I'm done. I'm done listening to the freight train. I'm going to my craft room with my earbuds in or watch videos or whatever, other people crafting. And I would spend hours in here. I'd be very exhausted, no doubt. But it got me through those tough times of lack of sleeping. And then he got his CPAP machine, and it was like, wow, it's too quiet. I can't sleep. It's always something, right? Nah. But, you know, that's okay. There's that. Those are dimensionals, and this is tear and tape, and that's going to go right over this section right here. And there is the third card. We're going to add our gems. See if I can spot where they are in this picture. It's kind of hard to see. There's one there. Oops, get my goopy side. There's one there. I'm trying to copy. Looks like there's one there, which is this leaf down here. And then the third one is hard to see. So let's look at the big picture. Not that it's much bigger. I see, oh, there it is. 1, 2, 3. Not that you have to put them in the same spot, but you know, sometimes. Put it right there. Okay, card number 3. So we've got all of these beautiful cards. Sympathy and thinking of you is the concept of these cards. Now let's make some alternates. I'm just going to close my ink for a minute. We're going to use the same color. And I'm going to start with, let's just put these aside. Don't need our instructions because we did 3 cards as instructed. But I do need to get into this box, don't I? I sure do. So we'll put those underneath. Let's start with this really pretty card right here because I have ideas. Actually, let's start with this one. All right, I am going to do something fun with this. Even using the whole card base, I know that's going to give me a glare. Let's see. Let's see. Because the back side of this is plain and the card initially is like this, we're going to do something different. And what I want to do is, we know this is 5.5, and I don't have grid paper. I have paper that is, it's the days of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, for me to keep track of calendar. This was a supply item. So I'm just going to take a pencil and create little tick marks that I can erase. So with that, we are at 5.5 right here. Hopefully you can see me since I moved up a little bit. And we know that the halfway mark of 5.5 is 2 3/4. So, not that that makes a difference. I just want to come in an inch on each side. So we're going to mark it 4.5 and at 1 inch. Tick mark. Okay. I'm going to bring in my, now I don't want to go past the, where it's, yep, scored. I'm going to cut this. So I'm an inch from each side. I think I got to cut that a little bit more. Okay, to the score line. And we'll do the same here, right where that tick mark is. I could have just measured out to 1 inch instead of marking it, but I didn't think. That happens. There are moments where I just don't think. And go to 4 1/4 where that score line is. I went a little over, no big deal. It's all going to get cured down anyway. Now, let's go ahead and varnish this. Maybe you know what I'm going to do with this already. And we'll varnish this. And what I want to do, we're going to leave that flip open. I'm going to adhere these down. I'm going to grab my liquid glue. I'm going to add some liquid glue. You can use whatever you like to use. I already got it all over. That's going to get adhered down right there. Then we're going to do the other one. I'm just going to get that glue off there. And we're going to adhere that down. Okay, so now we have a fun fold, right? Cute little fun fold. We could even do something more, but I think we could make it a, I think I'm just going to leave it there. We could do, actually, why not? Why not? We'll see how it works. Bring in our scoring. And we know that this is 4 1/4. 4 1/4. Half of 4 1/4 is going to be 2 1/8. So I'm going to go ahead and score that at 2 1/8. And how this is coming so easy to me, I have no idea. I hope it works out. Make a couple alternates with these. And this is going to be an easel card. After you fold it up, you can go like that. However, we're going to grab a pretty piece of something. And what will that be? I could actually take, actually, I don't know if I want to do anything. Let's see all of our elements. I shouldn't have scored that. Actually, it's fine. It's going to look great, right? Yes, it is. We're just going to create an easel. It'll be fine. I like it. Okay, so with that, now that we have this, and it can go like this, it almost feels like it needs something more, but it's just going to be a small little easel. But I want to put something there to have it stand out a little bit more. So we're going to take one of these white ones. Actually, maybe I'll use the blue one. Maybe I'll just pop all of these out and make a decision when I'm done messing around. Okay, so we've got this. And this can go here, right? We'll have that be right there. It'll pop up. Yep, so that's going to go right there. I'm just going to add this with my adhesive here. I'm going to add it close to where I just scored, but not right on that score mark. So that way when it pops up, it's got that decorative piece there. Cool. And then I'm going to stamp something on there as well. And now it's stuck where I had gook. And what I can do on the inside, actually, do I want to do that? Let me think a minute. Try not to hurt my brain. We have sending love, right? I can pull in another piece of scrap. Where's my sending love, wishing you comfort, you're in my thoughts, sending love. All right, so you're in my thoughts is going to go on here because, yep, it's supposed to. Okay, we're good. I got her. Okay, so we're going to use this tag. You're in my thoughts. And then we'll take sending love and a smaller tag because we can always bring in other pieces of paper if we need them for something. I actually think that you get extra tags, one of each extra tag. So that's a good thing because I need it. Hopefully that's not crooked. Okay. So for this, we are going to add this to the cover right here, and I'm going to put it on with dimensionals. And once I find them. All right, we've got that. Well, I thought I finished my goals, but I didn't. It lied to me. It says I closed my rings. Oh no, it doesn't matter. I'm sitting here enjoying what I'm doing with all of you. All right, so that's going to go there. So we have that. You're in my thoughts. And then for a way to that, for that to stand up, once we open it, we're going to have dimensionals here. And I think we will add it right there. So we have an easel card. Let's, oops, it needs to be moved over. It's not centered. Center it. Okay, so we have an easel. We're going to grab those gems. And I'm just going to add a couple. We can add one. So, of course, it's going to add some bulk to the inside, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. That drives me crazy. And now one more. So there's a little easel card. Cute little easel card, right? You're in my thoughts, sending love. Place for you to continue to write. It actually probably would have held without putting dimensionals there, and you glued down those two pieces that were an inch. Hey, Vicky! We're making alternates with that beautiful blues card kit. It's so pretty, so pretty. So there's a little easel card with one of the card bases. And let's use another card base. See what else we can get into. I'm going to cut this one in half. Not sure what I'm going to do with it, but why not save part of it, right? Cut it in half. And let's see what we can do with this. I'm going to use the bigger tag. And I think, I'm not sure I want to use that other big element. I think I just want to use this in some way. I almost want to cut it. Let's cut it. Let's cut it. Let's do some fussy cutting. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of this either, so, but that's going to go with it. This is going to get trimmed with my paper snips. So where is a good place to do that? Because we're going to cover where we separate it with a banner. So let's fussy cut around these flowers so we can get two pieces out of this. Or it can be covered with a piece of ribbon even. All right, so if you're seeing what I'm seeing, you got this part right here that's going to cover up that section, okay? So we have this. We could run that through. Actually, we could even kind of do over under, like so. It actually doesn't look bad the way that it is. It's cut fine to me, and it can go on the edge there. So we'll see what we can do with this. I'm not sure I want to use this though. We're gonna set this one aside for another card. I think I want to take this piece and run it through an embossing folder. And I think what would look really great would be the something distressed, either the distressed brick if I have it. I don't have a lot of the new ones, but hold tight. Let's grab something. I don't even know if that's still current. No, those aren't. There's so much work to do with my supplies. Oh. Let's see. Exposed brick. Or the distressed tile, I think, is retired. Let's look it up, because that would be really pretty. I might use it anyway. I'm gonna, because I can. You can use whatever embossing folder you'd like to use. I'm gonna use the distressed tile. If it's not a current product, I apologize. But I like to use what I buy, so I'm gonna move this though, because the glare is almost gone. I'm gonna do this one card here and one more, and then I'm gonna call it, because I have some stuff I have to get ready to go on the mail. Some swaps I have to finish. I don't need these. We've got an embossing folder. I need my plate 1 and my plate, where is it? Missing my My dog is panting over my shoulder. Here it is. Okay, 4 and 1. 4 and 1. Let's grab this. I will probably trim this down some, but that's okay. We will use the folder first. Now, I have to always feel because I want the embossed to show. I think. It's hard for me to tell which is which. Okay. Just a little fussing around. That goes there. That goes there. Oh, I just had a good idea. Okay, it's coming to me now. The brain is working. The brain is working for a minute. All right, so we got that. Now this is our distressed. Look at that. I'll wait for it. This is when I like to come in with this fun technique that is very noisy. And distress that even more. Anything with a white core. Oh, the dust. You can do this too. With a nail buffer. Excuse me. So there's that. Super cool. And I will need to trim it because it's going to go on to, do I have a white card base? Let's see. I need supplies, my friends. If I don't have white, we are going to grab, I think I'm all out of white paper. Oh, there's a piece. Lucky me. There's 2 pieces. I so need to order, and tomorrow's payday, and I'm very happy about that. All right, I'm going to do this at 4 1/4 by 11. And then grab my scoring tool, or you can just fold it in half. I like to use my Simply Score tool for making all of my score marks that I possibly can, unless they need to be a 1/16 of an inch. Then I have to use my other one, which I don't do very often. So there's that. Okay, so we are going to fold this and varnish. I got a little bit of a crooked piece in the corner, but that's okay. All right, we've got that. Now I could just cover that with a whole piece of paper, but I kind of want to have white border since we have that white showing. So I am just going to trim a 1/4 of an inch off of both sides. So we have 4 by 5 1/4, roughly. And then we will grab our wonderful adhesive that's almost empty. I need to start storing this upside down. I love this precision tip bottle. Got it off of Amazon. They sell them in packs of 10. Very inexpensive. I actually shared them with friends for Christmas. So it was nice to purchase a bundle of them and share. So kept one for myself. So there is that. Actually, I think I might have a couple left. Oops. Oops. Wow, what's with my hands tonight? That's where it landed. I don't think I cut that right, but okay. Now we have that. We're going to add the Wishing You Comfort to this bigger stamp, or this bigger label. Another good thing using photopolymer Versamark to season your stamps is that they don't necessarily stain as bad when you go to clean them. So, all right, so we are going to just pop this off in the center, but because I'm tying in that Night of Navy. I'm going to tie in all my retired stuff. And you remember I was talking about that rose gold stuff? There it is. Let's see if I can find, that might be something I might want to use in one of these cards. But for now, is that white? I think that is beige. These are all retired, so I think that is, I don't want to use navy. That's navy. That's navy. I was thinking to use that, this, but I might have to use that on a different card. That's from that Everything Rosy. I want to use some ribbon. How about, this is, it's retired, but I don't want to add that either. Hold tight. I want some ribbon. I want to find some ribbon. My retired ribbon stash is below me. Well, some of it's retired, some of it isn't. One piece of ribbon. Where you at? How about some of, yes, we'll use polka dots. I don't know if it really goes with the distressed embossing folder, but let's use the stash of ribbon that is retired. It's okay. It's very delicate and pretty. And we can tie a really pretty bow with it, I bet. All right, we're gonna snip some of this off. Tie a bow over here on to the left side. Very sheer with pretty polka dots. And I'm not a pro, but we're gonna go for it. Zhuzh, zhuzh, zhuzh. Tighten it, zhuzh. I always hold where the knot is so that it doesn't really loosen on me. But this one doesn't want to play nice. There we go. Now it's tighter. And we'll leave a big bow. And we're going to angle these. That one's pretty good. We're going to angle this a little closer. There's our bow. We're going to zhuzh this down because it's not adhered. Nice, subtle, pretty addition to this. We'll add this here and the flowers right there or underneath even. And I think that's really going to make this card look really nice. I'm just going to zhuzh this down a little bit more, maybe, so I have room for my flowers. Okay, what I'm going to do is add it like this, and I think that would look nice right there. So I'm going to take that, leave it the way it is, add some dimensionals to the back of it when I find them. There they are. So we can put that back the way I want it. Hold this together with dimensionals. Obviously, when you start doing alternates, you will use a lot of your product that's in your kit. So you will need to incorporate additional adhesives and stuff like that. Whatever you want to do to create your cards. And that will go, I think I want the sentiment right on that ribbon and that right there. And honestly, somewhere I had some pearls. I wouldn't mind using those to help that color pop. Iridescent pearls, gems, pearls. Yes, let's use some of these. Again, I'm using what I have in my stash. It's a good way to use your stuff. When you want to make alternates, pull out that stuff. Nobody cares unless you're really sad that you can't get your hands on it. But there is another alternate using a different product. So we did that. That was fun. And we did our easel card. And now we'll make one more. All set with that. And I think this one is going to be that other card base, which was this one right here. We're going to cut that in half. And 4 1/4. It's hard for me to see where the score mark is. Now I'm actually going to trim this piece down to 3. Actually, I don't want to cut off that. We'll cut it down to 3 3/4. Okay. And should I do 3 3/4 by 3 3/4? I think that will leave a piece of that there. I'm going to 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. We've got that. What am I going to do with this? I don't know. I am going to grab a piece of white. And actually, I think I have scrap. I do. Let's measure this. It's not scrap, it's actually layers. And I think that is, no, that's too small. Too small, and I think these are not scraps. Okay. Then we're gonna go to 4. Nope. 5. If I do 5, let me think a minute. 4 by, so 5 1/4. No, I want to do it smaller than that. 4 3. 4 3/4 by, I'm thinking, can you, 4 3/4. So that's an inch. I don't want that measurement. Trying to think this through. Thanks for your patience and thanks for being here with me. I know I want 4 inches because that's going to be the size I need in height. And let's do 4 by, I don't want 5 1/4. I'm going to just do 4 by 4 1/2. I'm winging it. Now we know this is 3 1/4, and I want, I'm actually going to trim this down to 3 inches because I want, or 3, no, think 1 1/4 is going to be 3 3/4. So 3 strips, the same size. Okay, I got it. Okay, so we've got that, and we've got this. Now, I tend to do this pattern a lot, so it's just a fun way to break apart a smaller piece of paper and add it to a bigger piece of paper, right? And we are going to add adhesive. I'm just going to grab my seal. And we're going to leave about that. Usually I put the center one on first, but we're going to do it this way. And make sure we have the same border all the way around. We're going to add this here. So we've got that. Pretty, right? Now, since we have that pretty ribbon, let's grab it. Excuse my head if you're looking at me. I want to grab some of this and use it. Of course, it's a mess. It's all over the place. And then we're going to find fun stuff to use. All right, we are going to just do a knot. So we're going to trim this. I'm going to do a knot over to the right hand side of this panel, this layer. And hopefully I'll be able to do a flat knot, which I'm still trying to practice doing. However the ribbon lays is how you want it to. Right now I'm fighting with myself because I didn't go to the gym. That's not a flat knot. I just can't do them. Celine's gonna have to teach me. Someone's gonna have to teach me how to do those. Okay. A very easy way to do them is this way. Hold tight. Hold, please. It also saves you some ribbon in the meantime. Okay, I want that in the center. Again, this was from the Everything Rosy. I'm going to trim this, put this aside. That's good for now. And I am going to take a piece of this and feed it through, maybe. Gracious. Eyes are getting tired. And I'm going to tie my knot this way. Oh, looky there. About as flat as it's going to get. Oh, I didn't cut that very good. Yes, the eyes are getting tired. That's the one thing about working on a computer all day long, how tired my eyes get by the end of the day. All right, so there's that. Wait, I know I have a scrap of paper in here. That is rose gold. And I think that I should be able to add panels to the side of this with that piece of rose gold. Look how that worked out. So we have, I think, it's not going to fit on there with a border. And I don't want to waste all of that. So I'm going to, I think I'm just going to do the sides. Again, this is 4 inches, right? So I'm going to cut 3/4. So I have enough room to glue 3/4 by 4. Hey Lori, welcome. You snuck on. I was all engrossed in what I was doing. This kit is gorgeous. I just thought, why the heck not make some alternates? And I found that Everything Rosy ribbon in my stash. And I thought, why not add it with some rose gold? So let's find a card base. And I think we're going to pull in Night of Navy. Let's grab Night of Navy card base, which actually might be over here. Night of Navy, maybe. Well, we got Blueberry Bushel, Night of Navy. Okay. And let's see. I know that I want this to end up measuring to 5 1/4. So what I need to do is Let's add adhesive to the edges. And if I go in, this is the hard part, line that up to the 3/8 mark, hanging out on the one end. Do the other side. Hopefully I will get this measured right. Using my grid on my Glass Mat Studio, which is another thing, if it's still available, you could toss into that starter kit and get a good deal on that. There's some claw marks in my rose gold paper, but that is okay. We are going to just fold our card base in half and varnish that with our bone folder. Hopefully it's the right size. I pulled it from my stack of card bases. That is nice, got a little shine. I think I need to do some trimming or shush that over a little. I think we're not quite at where we need to be, but you know what? I'm gonna call it good. So I don't have to mess too much because I think it's pretty even on both sides. There's that. Place this on our card base like so. We got some shine with that rose gold. Really bummed that there's some tick marks in there, but that's okay. And now we will, I think, add this. Nah, maybe. Hold tight. No, I don't think I need that added. I just need a label that says something very nice, such as you're in my thoughts. Actually, I should make this a birthday card, but I'm going to stick with the theme here. You're in my thoughts, Knight of Navy. And I'll share all the cards. Came in late. Granddaughters had softball game and I worked concession stand. Busy evening. It was beautiful out. I can imagine. I can't believe that we are heading into June. It's like, it's killing me. It's killing me. I just don't know where the time goes. Seems like the older I get, the faster it goes too. And I try really hard not to wish on Monday for Friday to get here. Time waits for nobody. That's why it's so important to do the things that you need to do, want to do, love to do. Spend time with those grandkids. So important. Can't get that time back. So, enjoy every second. All right, so we have this, and I am just going to put that right on top of the ribbon with some dimensionals, and we will be good for tonight. So we did 3 cards as a kit instructs, and we did 3 alternates. I'm going to stagger these so that it is holding down the ribbon as well as not wobbling over the ribbon, if that makes sense. So we've got that right there. And boy, do I wish I had some rose gold gems. I think I'm just going to leave that as is. There's shimmer in the ribbon, and there's shimmer on the rose gold panels. So let's get out what we did for alternates using some Retired and Whatnot product. Did some embossing and did some distressing of that distressed embossing folder, distressed tile, using the awesome, wonderful nail buffers. Here's another one, a little easel card from one card base. You're in my thoughts, sending love. Just cut 1 inch on each side and glued those down and created a little easel with the panel that was left using some of the elements from the kit. And of course the 3 cards that the kit created. So 3 alternates, 3 original deal. And I still have a lot of elements to make additional cards, whether alternates or as the kit instructs. So super excited. Yay. Let's flip that camera around. I could add some Now we're good. Stop messing. I'll be here all night, right? You ever get in those moments where you're just like, okay, I just want to keep playing. Just want to keep playing. But my dog wants to snuggle and it's almost 9 o'clock. So there's that. So thank you all so much for being here. I'm going to go upload this to YouTube. Don't forget all the amazing things that I announced in the beginning of the video with all the dates of upcoming events at the Branchport Library, as well as awesome deals that are going on with Stampin' Up! If you have questions about anything that I discussed or product that I used or techniques or anything, please don't hesitate to put it in the comments. Message me, reach out to me. My number is always available for you to contact me. Until next time, Sunday morning at 9 a.m., let's caffeinate and create over on YouTube at 9 a.m. Take note. I will see you then. Many Stampin' Blessings until then, and enjoy your Friday and Saturday. Bye for now.